This conference will now be recorded.
And then vacate up here?
Village has bought them all.
Oh.
It is 7 o'clock. The Kite Grove Planning Commission will hold a public meeting on Wednesday, October 25th, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Town Hall at 4058 County Road N. You can also join the meeting by GoToMeeting. We have a quorum present. The meeting was posted at the Town Hall and on the website. I'll call the meeting to order. And Kim is online. Please speak up when you're making motions and identify yourself. First item of business is the minutes from the September 27th meeting.
Approval is presented.
Second.
Motion by Anders, second by Klinger to approve the minutes for September 27th as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Next item is public concerns. Public's opportunity to speak to the Planning Commission about any subject that is not a specific agenda item. Anyone online for public concerns? Hearing none, we'll move on. Amy Miles with TD2 Architecture and Engineering. Applicant is equipment share owner, parcel of 0711-273-0030-0 North Star Road, seeking conditional use permit for outdoor storage of materials and equipment. And are you online?
Yes, we are. This is Pranavi Koka with Bowman. We're the civil engineers on the project, and I also have Jacob with Equipment Share present.
Did you get any of that?
No.
We didn't get anything that you said.
Pretty tough.
Can y'all hear me okay now?
That's better.
Yes?
Yeah, this is Pranavi Koka with Bowman Consulting. We are the civil engineers on the project, and I also have Jacob with Equipment Share present.
Okay. You want to go ahead and present?
Yes, please.
You want to tell us about the outdoor storage?
Jacob, would you like to speak to that?
Please repeat.
Speakerphone.
Hey guys, this is Jacob with Equipment Share.
Hey, that's great. Hear you much better.
Yes, sir. I think we rely on our consultants a lot. What can I tell you about our outdoor storage? We rent heavy equipment of all types and sizes. We require at least a few acres at any given location with a fully stabilized, usually crushed concrete or gravel yard for laying the equipment in. Do you have any specific questions we could help you with?
How will you be fencing the area?
Pretty easily, however you require us. Typically, we would have just chain link with barbed wire. We have lots of site lighting to keep secure our locations, but some cities require different levels of screening than others.
Right. And so would you be, you have a corner lot, correct?
Yes, sir, I believe it is.
And would you be storing equipment visible from each of the two sides that front a road?
Yes, sir, we would.
Let's see, the portion of the road that runs east-west, that needs to be widened and improved at some point here.
Okay.
And
You say improved. By improved, do you mean beautified or just upkept?
built.
Okay.
Do you have a specific right-of-way dedication that would be required?
She's asking if there's right-of-way dedication required.
Yes. Yes, there will have to be dedication of the road right-of-way.
Okay, we will work with the city to get that incorporated in our plans.
She's gonna try and incorporate it in their plans.
Okay, your driveway that's closest to where it makes that 90-degree bend, needs to be 150 feet from that corner. I can't tell from the drawing if it is that far or not.
I don't believe it's 150 from the corner.
It will need to be 150 feet though from that corner.
Right here? From here to here?
No.
And will there be just one building?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So you probably, or will you have storage on that south lot, south portion of the lot?
Yes, we will be having storage on the south and the north.
Okay. And the entire property would be fenced?
Yes, that's correct.
And will that fence have a gate that's closed when you're not open?
Yes, that's correct. So there is a dead end towards the parking on the north and south side of the building. There are two gates. Those are the ones that will be closed during non-business hours.
You'll just have to make arrangements with the fire department that they can access the building off hours if there would be a fire and that gate's closed.
Yes, there are typically Knox box installed at those gates. So in case there's an event of a fire, that should be taken care of.
All right, that's good.
Where would they put the Knox boxes are typically on buildings, and obviously they're gonna have to have like a pedestal or something to mount the Knox box to outside.
At the road right away.
Correct.
Edge. Questions?
How many feet will the fence be off the lot line? Do you have a set on that?
Yes, we have about a 10-foot buffer. So we plan to have the fence about 10 feet off of the property lines.
Yep. So if I go, or do you guys typically leave the equipment down? If you go by Southern Rentals on the interstate, they leave all their man lifts up, which kind of defeats the purpose of the fence. So do you guys typically leave your man lifts up in the air or do they stay lowered?
Typically, we would have them up, but there's no requirement on our end for that if it causes any problems with the city.
Do they leave them up so they make sure the hydraulics are working right? Or advertising purposes?
To be honest, it's to be seen.
That's what I thought. So they don't have to be up for,
So they could be down.
yeah, right. And then in the hours, it said the hours of operation were like from 7 to 5. That's for retail. But it will be open for other employees to do maintenance and stuff and logistics off hours, right?
Sure. Typically, no, we're an 8 to 5 location. There is no after hours work.
Really? That's,
All your maintenance will be done during the day
yeah,
while you're open.
Yes,
that's what
sir.
I'm asking. Okay, that's cool.
Okay.
And are you, according to the drawing or what I read, the whole back lot that's going to be fenced in, that's going to be, all the dirt will be scraped off that and you'll put crushed concrete in there? And if so, how thick would it be?
We typically have either gravel or crushed concrete. It's a impervious pavement, and it's designed per geotech standards. I do not have a spec for that at the moment, but that's something that I can definitely share at a later time.
Does that material cause you a problem in winter when you have to have snow removal?
That's a good question. Jacob, any other ideas on any other site that you've had this issue with?
No, not typically. It's never been a problem. We fully stabilize the earth before we lay down this rock. So scraping it's not usually an issue. It can always be moved around or added to for further stabilization.
It's not going to come up when you plow the snow off the open areas?
Yeah, I mean that can always happen, but it can always be brushed around and we fully need I mean, we grade to drain, but it'll be a flat lot. We have to operate on flat
Yeah.
ground. So yeah, I mean, if we tried to dig it up, then we could, but no, just pushing snow around to get it out of the way. This has not been a problem at any other location that I've ever heard of.
Yeah, the biggest problem is when you get snow and there isn't frost in the ground yet, and you plow it, it's going to move a lot of material.
Sure, sure.
I guess your fencing material, I would like to see options other than chain link with barbed wire.
Yes, we have one that we've been coordinating with the city on. It's called Trex fencing. I can definitely share that with you. It's much better than a chain link, and there's full screening.
Okay, can you show us that when you come back with the building for design review?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I have one more question. If you're going to scrape the surface off in the back, what will you do with the topsoil? Are you going to create a berm and then put the fence on top of the berm?
We typically do not put a berm on the fence, but if that's a requirement, we can definitely do that. We can grade it accordingly. But for the other sites, it's definitely been at level of the gravel.
Truck it away.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
know, sell it.
Well, we're going back on that thing about screening. If it was
Yeah.
up higher and they had a really nice fence, do something.
Have a 3 foot or 4 foot tall berm and then the fence on top, you'd still be able to drive by and see what's sitting in the lot.
But then you'd have berm maintenance and
Yeah.
things that come to mind are
And it would depend if you want a solid fence or chain link fence.
Yeah, that's the other part, is if they're gonna do a slatted fence, or if they're gonna, well, you're referring to Copart?
No, I'm talking about, what you call it, the concrete place down.
Oh, yeah,
12,
yeah, yeah.
That mess of a
Yeah.
berm, that mess.
Well,
Yeah.
I suppose it should be,
It's hard to maintain.
not create something that is not maintenanceable.
Right.
Oh, well, if absent a berm, what were your thoughts on fence height? 6 feet or 8 feet?
One of those
Yes,
two.
a 6 feet tall fence.
And would you plan on putting any plantings in that 10-foot area between the fence and the road right away?
Yes, that's correct. We will be putting landscaping.
Okay. Any more questions?
Leaned wrong.
As far, okay, obviously opaque fencing, along the two sides of the road. What would you do then on, what would be the
South side?
south side as you're approaching
In the east?
the east? I mean, that's, nobody's gonna be back there kind of thing.
Well, eventually there'll probably be another lot there.
Yeah, it's here.
So you'd want fencing on all four sides.
Well, this is for the spill drainage,
Yeah,
right?
and then this is her lot, so there'd just be this little portion, would be this lot, really.
So there's lots on either side.
This stuff here.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about
That's her corner.
Right, but I'm just saying.
be surrounding.
Yeah.
If I'm allowed to share my screen, I can show you all the Trex fencing that we're proposing and also building elevations.
Okay.
I think the organizer of the meeting needs to give me permission. There we go. Can everyone see my screen?
Yep.
So this is how our building elevations look like.
Yeah, so guys, I hope you can see when you're saying like landscaping, any beautification, we don't build these buildings to be a typical industrial zone building. We like it to be attractive and modern. So I'd hope you could,
And that's what we like too.
yeah. So if any of these, we don't go into any city planning to throw a chain link and look like a junkyard, with our equipment.
Yeah.
This is exactly what you're going to see.
Okay.
But, in their pseudo defense, if they have this nice looking building, you've got a 6-foot opaque fence along, say, would be the west side of the property where the driveways are.
Yes.
What about potentially moving the fence back to the front edge of the building?
Thinking the same thing.
And that way you'd have the drive, the access to and you could see the nice front fascia, if you will.
Oh, you will see the front fascia. The fence begins kind of after all that glazing starts. If we look back at the site plan, you could see our parking lot is not hidden away. Our fence starts maybe not quite a third into the building before it starts. The parking lot's open to the street. We have electric vehicle charging stations out there that are an option for the public as well. Yeah, we're not
Okay.
hiding the building. Yes, if you can see our fence line, it does come to the front of the property, but it sticks with the line of our driveways.
Okay.
So this being the fence. and then out here.
So really, the gates that you're talking about are even with the building practically.
Yes, sir. On that north side, it's where that sidewalk island, and on the south side, it's where that second sidewalk island.
So it's that issue on the Knox box. It can be on.
Yeah,
Yeah, Steve was just saying, why not do that?
Yeah, and you mentioned pedestals. That's what we have at 99% of our locations. Yeah.
I feel a little bit better about that.
Okay.
And I do have a picture of the Trex fencing if you all want to see.
Sure.
What did you say?
Picture of the fencing.
Oh,
If we don't like to see.
Charging stations.
horizontal slats.
In this photo, how high is that fence? 6 feet or 8?
I believe it's 6.
You said 6.
Yeah, that's probably 6. Little cars sitting in front.
You said 6. You said 6 usually.
Did she?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
Beforehand, the earlier discussion was 6.
Yeah.
I think I said 8.
Okay, so actually, maybe you still don't see it. Any more questions? Anyone wishing to make a motion? And I don't know, did we have to go through the,
Seven things,
yeah,
7 commandments.
Oh, I do have a question. On your exterior lighting that goes around on the fence, you mentioned you have perimeter lighting, is that correct?
Yes, we do.
Is that shine out into the yard or is it shine directly down?
I believe it's straight down.
It is directly down. We would usually put together a photometric plan and make sure a minimum number of lights to cover everything.
Okay.
Did it say it in there that it was?
dark sky?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it did. I saw that in here on somewhere. I thought I even underlined it. Yeah, on page 2 of their blue mark, under the optic dark sky approved.
Oh. Yep. Great help.
Anyone wishing?
Hey, Chris, can you hear me? This is Kim.
Yes.
Don't forget to do your standards.
Yes, yes.
It's, keep going.
4th page in?
Yeah, four pages in it. 4th page, yeah.
Yeah. You want to go through those now?
Sure.
All right, number 1, the established maintenance or operation of the conditional use will not be detrimental to or endanger the public health, safety, comfort, or general welfare. Their answer, all equipment will be stored on site within designated property boundaries. The outdoor storage of this equipment will not have an impact on public health, safety, comfort, or general welfare, and will be fenced. Everyone agree?
Yeah.
Number two, the uses, values, enjoyment of other property in the neighborhood for purposes already permitted shall be in no foreseeable manner subsequently impaired or diminished by establishment, maintenance, or operation of the conditional use. Their answer is the outdoor storage of equipment will not impact surrounding areas, uses, or the enjoyment of other property in the neighborhood. The business operates during regular business hours, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. No movement of equipment on the site will not disturb abutting properties during off hours. Surrounding properties are currently vacant and are planned for general commercial use, so the outdoor storage use will not adversely affect neighboring properties with similar planned uses. Your hours, are those Monday through Friday?
Yes, they are.
Monday through Friday. And everyone agrees with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Number three, the establishment of the conditional use will not impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the surrounding property for uses permitted in the district. Their answer is the allowance of outdoor storage on this site will not impede the normal and orderly development or improvement of surrounding properties. The proposed outdoor storage will be contained on site and screened as required to prevent visibility from rights of way and surrounding properties. The surrounding properties are currently vacant and are planned for general commercial use, so the outdoor storage will not adversely affect those properties' uses. Agreed?
Agreed.
Yes.
Number four, adequate utilities, access roads, drainage, and other necessary site improvements have been or are being made to accommodate the conditional use. All access roads have been improved and utilities, drainage, and other necessary site improvements will be made as construction proceeds.
Question.
And yes,
North Star Road, the east-west portion. I realize that this pertains to their development specifically, but we make a note about
looking at their can you tell what is that they have here? The road. And I thought we took care of that when Dewey was in.
About doing the 4 rod, you mean?
Yes. Or the 70 feet.
Yeah, it's 70 feet. It wasn't, yeah, because it wasn't, because Dan had made mention or.
Because he either has to get it from, some of it from SCORE, or he was going to buy the property.
Correct.
So we're okay with 4.
I think so.
Yes.
5, adequate measures have been or will be taken to provide ingress and egress so designed as to minimize traffic congestion on the public street. Ingress and egress has been designed to minimize traffic congestion on North Star Road. And we made note of what that driveway has to be 150 feet from the corner.
Correct.
Otherwise, it's okay.
Yes.
6, that the conditional use shall conform to all applicable regulations of the district in which is located. Contractor, landscaping, or building trade operations outdoor is listed as a conditional use in the GC General Commercial District. We have submitted rezoning application to remove the deed restriction currently on the site to transition to GC zoning. Agreed?
Yep.
yes.
Number 8, if the conditional use is located in farmland preservation zoning district, it's explained it's not in the farmland preservation zoning district.
Correct.
So the 8 have been met.
Did you already 7?
No, 7, the conditional use is consistent with the adopted town and county comprehensive plans. We've submitted a rezoning application to remove the deed restriction on the site to transition to GC zoning, contractor landscaping, et cetera, in the GC zoning districts. Agreed?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what's your pleasure?
So we've got,
We're seeking conditional use for the outdoor storage. Remove that deed restriction. Correct.
You gonna move?
what's that?
You gonna move? or not?
Yeah, I will. I would move approval of the petition for the CUP to allow the,
Outdoor storage.
yeah, thank you, for the outdoor storage and equipment storage. And do we need to include
8
the,
standards were met.
yes, but what I was gonna say was, do we need to put in there about the setback for the
150?
driveway and stuff, or does that come on when you do the site plan?
I would mention that they were advised of the 150 feet from the corner for the nearest driveway
Okay,
in your motion.
all right. Would be the northernmost driveway needs to be 150 feet from the corner,
Intersection.
and also the 8 conditions
Were met.
were met.
You want to have a provision about the equipment being down?
I think that'll come for,
No, it should come here.
It comes here now because we're
Come here
talking about
rather than
outdoor storage.
design.
Yeah.
all right,
Design we're talking.
They're not on a location that it's gonna provide a lot of marketing. It's, there's no need to have them up.
Yeah.
And that's gonna just negate the fence. if
Yeah,
you
we're
have
for
them
a
up in
fence.
the air. Yeah.
all right,
You
and
Still
then
need a fence, but
Well, yeah, but you could have
It'll-
a chain link.
all equipment shall be stored in the down position, or, excuse me, all equipment shall be stored as low as possible to minimize,
Or in a transport position. That's usually down.
yeah.
all right, either way.
In a
I'm okay with it.
transport position.
Yeah, that sounds better.
Okay.
And fencing will come in at design review.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's anything
Should
else.
do it.
I'll second.
Motion by Anders, second by Mule. Did you get all of that, Kim?
I did.
All right. Any discussion on that motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. This will be on the town board for their action on November 6th at 7 PM. Someone should be available. Moving on then, next item, Edward M. Callis III, GE with Roth Professional Solutions applicant, Secure Storage of Cottage Grove LLC, property owner of parcel 0711-332-9700-0 at 3286 Fieldview Lane, design review for phase 2 to construct 2 buildings along with the associated paving within the existing mini self-storage facility. You have the floor.
Mark from Secure Storage, not Ed from RPS. So we are looking to build building H and I to the site. We're filling up the current rear capacity there, so we're looking to build 2 additional buildings as we proposed on the initial site plan in 2016, I believe.
So when are you gonna do E, F, and G?
Well, once we fill up a little more in B, then we'll look at E, F, and G. So
Oh, okay.
I think it's just a matter of time, it seems like, with how much the population's growing.
What else?
That's about building H and I are just gonna be traditional buildings.
So
So
they gonna be identical to
same style, same format as the current site, same
like
company, same build design.
E,
It'll be most closely resemble building D, C, and A that are along the county end.
A, D, and
A, C, and D,
A,
all
C,
along
and D.
that outer edge,
Okay,
near County Road N.
same height?
Same height as, yes, same height as those buildings, correct.
And you're gonna use all of the same materials,
Same materials,
same colors.
same colors, same everything. We like it to match. Looks better that way.
And you had at your place the letter from the state on their conditional approval.
Yes. We have our county approval from Dane County as well. And the stormwater from the previous submission is valid still.
Yep. And all the fencing is in.
All the fencing is in.
Is there any benefit one way or the other of having a variation in the height of all the buildings so that, I mean, we have the 2 that have the little towers on them. All the rest, they would all be,
They would all be pretty much the same height. If you look at building G1 on the map, that was built in the first phase. That's a taller RV type of building.
That one's like this one. Yeah. Same thing.
yeah.
So that has 14 by 14 doors, and so that is taller on the inside of the property. And then building G2 would be the extension of that.
Would have the same height
Would have
then?
the same height and
Okay.
would match that existing.
Okay.
You looking for some height variation for some depth?
You just make it,
Break it up.
break up and if G comes in higher, that probably doesn't, would break it up.
G is probably like a 15, 16 foot tall building. We're in that range with a 14-foot door. And then these will be around 9 to 10.
Yeah.
Depending on pitch.
Yeah.
Hide these from the road.
Yeah.
South Street.
And it is at the very back, so the back side of these buildings is that big hillside.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's no visibility from Field View Lane
No,
from that,
not until you remove that hill,
if that happens, yeah.
if that ever happens.
But really, visibility from N is pretty limited because it's up on a hill. So
Right.
you really, those front buildings, you really can't see anything behind them anyway.
Questions?
Are you able to get stuff in with these new buildings in here? Are you gonna be able to get big equipment into G?
Yes, so there's a 50-foot drive aisle between H and G. And the units really won't be anything more than 50 feet. So you should be able to back an RV in pretty easily from there.
Some people.
Some people, that's true. We have bollards in place to protect the building,
Protect the
just in
building.
case.
question, would you be willing to, along and add any additional plantings?
We could definitely look at that, yeah.
Something green?
Green. Which specifically, where were you looking at along N? On the end side of the fence or?
Whichever side.
You're talking about here?
Yeah. There or on the other side of the fence, whichever works for them, because I see you mow on both sides.
We do, well, we consistently mow the inside of the fence to keep that nice and tight. The outside of the fence gets kind of overgrown, so I think we brush hog that maybe twice a year, just to give them most of the,
I think they've done it more than twice a year.
well, just to not get it out of control, because a lot of those little saplings are growing up and it just starts looking bad. And I noticed there's a couple out there today when I
Yeah,
passed
you
by,
got
so,
black locusts on that hillside.
yeah. It's.
I'm wondering, arborvitae, something like that to
Okay.
break up from your deciduous trees.
Mhm. So you're looking at some arborvitaes along the fence line on the outside of the fenced-in area.
I guess I'm okay with either side of the
Okay.
fence for aesthetics. I just think it would look better in the fall and winter when the leaves are gone from
Yeah.
your deciduous trees.
Mhm.
Chris, are you talking building A or A, C, and D?
I'm talking D. Really?
Along end.
Long end.
Oh. That would be-
Is that off ramp is by C and A?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Other questions, comments? Otherwise, motion would be in order for them to use the exact same materials as was used in the first
First phase.
phase, 4 buildings, 5. Yeah, E's there, isn't it? Yeah.
So moved to approve.
Motion by Mule, is there a second? Second by Myler to approve design review using the very same materials as was used in phase 1. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. One abstention. And you're done. You don't have to come to the town board.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. How soon will you start?
As soon as I can get a permit through the town, then we'll go going.
You got material?
The building is slated to be delivered in February, like, I want to say the third week in February. I like to get the concrete in before the winter sets this year.
Yeah.
Let it sit, nothing wrong with letting it sit over the winter.
Okay.
And then probably asphalt and all of that once the spring hits. So
Very good.
get ready for the next season.
All right.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Andrews, second by Klinger for adjournment. It's non-debatable. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Thank you.
Get well, Kim.
Let's see, 6.